This is something, obviously, that county and city leaders have been preparing for since we've heard earlier this week that this might happen. What is your take? How are you feeling and reacting to this?
Well, I've been out this morning on Central Avenue and South Boulevard. My husband and I have been trying to go around and just check on some of our friends and people that we know who could be impacted. We went out and tried a new place for breakfast that we've never been to before because we wanted to support small businesses, immigrants-owned small businesses. Honestly, our hearts are really, sick over this, and we're extremely concerned about people who are caught up in this whole shock and awe campaign that's going on here, and so, we're holding back the tears, but we're trying to be out there and show solidarity and support to our friends and neighbors.
Now that we know and we've seen some video evidence of some smaller operations and encounters taking place, what is the expectation from your side, and what can residents do to support fellow Charlotteans might be more vulnerable in this position?
Yeah, I think number one, if people want to support, definitely, donating to organizations that are trying to help, like the Latin American Coalición, Comunidad Colectiva, the Carolina Migrant Network, Our Bridge for Kids. These are all organizations that are mobilizing to try to help folks. We have, a bunch of like lawyers who are, trying to help with immigration. We have I think going out and supporting those businesses so that they can stay afloat is something that everyone can do. I think it's surrounding our immigrant community with support that is number one that we can do.
Some other leaders, like Representative Ralph Norman, also saying that this is a good thing for Mecklenburg County, and this is to target and deal with folks who have committed crimes, and it is against criminals. What do you say to that?
I haven't seen what the evidence is that they're only picking up criminals. So I think because there's such a lack of communication going on, it's kind of like they're coming in and doing their thing, but they're not involving the locals as far as the elected officials. We have no idea who they're going after, and we don't know, we don't have any details. And so, it's hard to sort of trust what they're doing when you've seen the eyewitness accounts on TV from Chicago and other places to see the tactics that are being used. So at this point, I haven't seen the evidence. A lot of folks have shared videos with me, just of like one-off people being detained and things like that. But I haven't actually seen, who they're arresting. Of course, all of us support getting actual criminals off of our streets, no matter where they're from. So we would always welcome that support. But when you come in a way like this, where you're using tactics that are, these are masked, all the videos I've seen, these agents are masked, and they're coming in and they're being very aggressive. And so I don't think that is in the best interest of Mecklenburg County or Charlotte.
Would you hear from your constituents now, besides showing you videos? Do you get a sense of real deep fear and concern about their livelihoods?
Yes, I definitely have. I've spoken to a number of my friends who have businesses here, and they feel heartbroken, they feel angry, and they feel like they're being scapegoated, and they feel like they've been here for decades, and they feel like they're being treated like animals, and it's just not fair. And these are folks who are permanent residents, right? Like, so, they are legal, but they are still being impacted. And, I think people need to realize that there are a lot of mixed status families in our community. So that might mean that you have an abuela, you have grandma who is one status, and then you have parents and children that are different statuses, and so it tends to rip families apart. And so the fear is just really being felt right now, and anger and sadness.
What is the hope here now? Because now we're seeing it happen, right? So
Yeah.
we can deny and be confused and be frustrated and ask. I mean, I think the big question is, why here? Why, with all these other big cities, LA, Chicago, and now Charlotte? And so now that it is happening from a point of acceptance, how do you move forward? How do folks that are directly impacted move forward? What can be the best outcome right now?
That's a great question. I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Right.
I know that this Tuesday, the county commission we're going to have a resolution around support for our immigrant community, and also emphasizing, constitutional rights and protections that are in place for all people in the United States, no matter what their status is. As far as what people can be doing or how we can support, honestly, I don't know, because we don't have that transparency with this administration. We don't know who the folks are that are being taken, and we don't know where they're being taken to. If they would share those kind of details, I think that would be a huge step in the right direction. Like, give us the evidence, who you detained, was that a target, where are they going? I've heard of one account of a gentleman who was seized in a parking lot, and he actually left his hat with his phone number on it so that people could know, because people are being disappeared, like they're being taken and their car is just left in a parking lot. And so how do you know if that person's coming home or not? Like, you don't know. So these kind of things that are very, people don't know what's coming next. And so as that information can be released in the fastest way possible, that would be a step towards good faith effort into calming the community. We don't want to induce any kind of panic. And so the more transparency there can be, that would be best.
And just being a county leader here in Mecklenburg County, Susan, how surreal is this for you, just kind of looking from the outside in?
I think surreal is a great word, because when you see things on TV in other cities, it doesn't feel like it's quite impacting you, but when it comes to your city and to your county, and the people that are being impacted, we always feel things more when it's our own people, right?
Sure.
Like, that's just natural. But it really is a sinking feeling, being an elected leader at this time and feeling like this is another crisis, that's come along to our community. And it feels like there's just one after the other.
Doesn't it, though?
It really does.
We were just saying, all right, so the federal government shut down over for now. Let's take no, we can't.
Right.
No
breathers here.
No breathers. Can't come up for air just yet.
Yeah. And I think, I just want to say, I think that it's going to be worse. It's going to get worse over this next year, because we know that there's a really important election coming up in 2026. And I think that might be one reason why Charlotte is being targeted, is because it's one of the largest places of having Democratic representation. And I think that, Republicans want to paint our city, our county, as a dangerous place, as terrible leadership, and things like that aren't true, because they're trying to tear down the image of Democratic leadership. And, when we have Roy Cooper on the ballot, they're going to try to do everything they can to weaken him as a candidate. And so I think that things are going to get worse in Charlotte because of that. I think we'll be targeted any way that they can tarnish us, they will.
So almost just go ahead and expect the worst.
I think so. I don't know what it looks like, but I think we can't take any breathers, because I just think we're going to be in the spotlight for political reasons.
For better, for worse.
Yeah.
Susan, anything else you want our viewers to know, or folks and your constituents to know, and people really directly, again, impacted by this situation?
I think that what I would say is that there are a lot of people out there who want to help and who are caring. I went to a business this morning where there was at least 6 or 8 people out front sort of standing guard. because they wanted it to look like you couldn't just walk in here and snatch people. Like, we're standing here watching, and we have our phones at the ready, and we're going to video. So, like, I think that there are people who want to support, and so reach out and let us know how we can support you. That's something that I can tell you, is that yes, there's a bunch of folks who don't have our best at heart, but there are a whole bunch of people, I would say the majority, who do.
That do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we appreciate your time coming in.
Absolutely.
From Mecklenburg County leader, commissioner from District 6, Susan Rodriguez. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.